YouTube. I'm Laurel, and I am starting off an advice channel. I know there are a bajillion out there, but I have some great tips and tricks that I think you guys might really appreciate. I have gone through so many different processes of hair and makeup and all manner of things. I thought maybe I would share a bit of my experience, and hopefully it'll help you guys, because I know when I was going through my hair questions of like how do I get certain colors and all that stuff, YouTube really helped me out, so I want to return the favor. So recently I actually last Friday, so let's see, that was 5 days ago, I went from a medium to dark auburn to this in 5 days. Now, I don't know if you can tell, my hair is not dry, it is not gummy or hi, kitty cat. Sorry. It's shiny, it's smooth, it's still very healthy and strong. And I did this in 5 days. I'm going to go into a more detailed video later on the exact process. But right now this is just kind of a product overview of exactly the products that I use. So to begin with, for your bleaching, you're going to need see my kitty cat? Say hi. So you're going to need a developer and also a powder lightener. The powder lightener that I use is the Ion Color Brilliance Conditioning Powder Lightener. The stuff is awesome. It comes in this little tub. You can actually get different sizes of tubs, different amounts. It comes with a scoop on the inside, and then this very light blue powder, and that's your bleach. And it has this nice kind of like, I don't know, I like the way it smells. Other bleaches I hate because they really burn your nose and your eyes, but this stuff has kind of a fruity floral smell, and then the little bit of bite of bleach smell underneath, but then again, I'm very odd, so, you know. And then for your developer, you're going to use, I switched to 20 volume. I have gone white twice before, and once I used the 30 volume, and then the other time I used a 40 volume. All I can say is stay away from 40. 40 volume doesn't necessarily lift your hair faster. It fried my hair completely. I mean, like, I had blisters. I was pulling out chunks of hair, and it's really harsh. Unless you have something like a really dark, like black, or you have ethnic hair where it's very coarse and kind of tougher to pull color from, don't go with the 40. 30 is okay. It's a little bit more gentle. It still is not as good as the 20 volume that I use. I use this, and in one night I got to a light gold color in one go. I've never been able to achieve that before. It was fast. It did not fry my hair at all. My scalp was a little tight and a little dry because, I mean, bleach, no matter which way you slice it, bleach is going to it's going to damage your hair. And so the way you go about doing it can really diminish a lot of the effects of the damage that you're going to be doing to it. So I use the Ion Sensitive Scalp because I have a sensitive scalp. The 20 developer. There's also 10 vol, but my hair was, I didn't want to take that long because I'm very impatient. So those are your bleaches. A little add-in I use whenever I tone and when I bleach, I'll go into toning here in just a minute, is, I don't know if you can see that, but the Ardell Red Gold Corrector Plus. The little box. It's just a little tiny bottle like that. It actually goes a long way. I put about 15 drops per bleaching cycle that I use. It has directions on it, so you can kind of choose for yourself. But for every one of those, I use one of those little purple scoops I showed you, one of those scoops of the powder lightener plus 2 scoops of the developer, and then 15 drops of the Ardell Red Gold Corrector. Now the Red Gold Corrector basically it helps tone down brassy tones, and brassy tones basically mean the reds the golds and the oranges and the yellow tones that show up in your hair, that shows up in everybody's hair when bleaching. Because your hair bleaches in levels. Actually, I won't go into that right now. I'll go into my detail video. So this is just product. So then for your actual stuff that you're going to be bleaching with, you need to use plastic. If you use anything other than plastic, like a metal, God forbid, it will destroy your color. Metals react with bleaches and with hair dyes, and you can really screw it up. Don't take the chance. Go plastic. So you can, I just had this one on hand. You can, Sally actually carries like Ion mixing bowls. They have other brands there too. Ion's just the one I've always used. Then a tint brush. I love the tint brush because it has this really sharp edge, so when I'm going to my roots, I can keep that. When you're actually bleaching your hair, your whole head, you want to keep about 1/4 of an inch to 1/2 inch away from your scalp, because the heat from your head transfers up into your hair. The heat basically causes the bleach to bleach faster. It develops it faster. So because your roots are the closest thing to your head, they get more heat. So you want to keep, to get a more even bleaching, you want to keep the bleach at least 1/4 of an inch away from your roots so that they don't get over processed. Then you're going to need gloves, because you don't want to get bleach on your skin. It burns, especially if you get it in a cut. God, I have gotten bleach in cuts before, and it feels like the devil is spitting on you. It's awful. So that was a weird. Anyways, so yeah, I just grabbed these from an old box dye that I hadn't used yet. Try not to get anything, those gloves that have like the powder on the inside. You don't want to take the chance of that reacting. Just be safe with your products that you use. So when you bleach your hair, you're going to want to bleach it to the palest yellow blonde. Think about the inside of a banana, or like cold butter. You don't want any oranges or gold or dark yellow in your hair, because your hair will not work for the next process, which is toning. Toning takes your hair and neutralizes, if you're going for the white, platinum, white or silver or platinum blonde, you're going to want to tone your hair to reduce the brassiness that naturally comes from bleaching. So, yeah, toners, you don't want to waste your time or waste product or money, because if you tone your hair when it's like orange, or it's still a dark yellow or gold, it's not going to work. No matter how many times you tone it, it's not going to work. You're going to end up with a mucky color, or it's just not going to do anything at all. So you have to, I cannot stress this enough, to save yourself money and frustration and hair health, wait, and bleach it to that, really bleach it to that palest shade of yellow blonde. I read so many reviews of people saying that, oh, this toner didn't work, and people ask, well, why did, what was the reason for that? And they were like, oh, well, my hair was orange, and, I toned it, and it said it would work, and it didn't. I'm like, well, thinking it's orange. Your hair has to be that pale, like, cold butter color, pale yellow, to actually tone. So for my toner, I have actually used Manic Panic Virgin Snow before. I adored it. I got my hair to that really pale yellow, and it turned it this gorgeous, like, frosty, like, white. It was the color of a piece of paper. It was beautiful. I loved it. So you have to get it to that right color first before you tone it. This time, because Sally's didn't actually have it in stock, I didn't want to, wait all that time to get it shipped. So I just went ahead and picked up this. This is Wella Color Charm 12A and Frosty Ash. My camera is such crap, so you probably can't read that. I'll write down all the names and where I got them and how much they were in the little box down beneath. So I use this. This actually turned it into not a white. I know it looks white right now, but that's just because the color my camera's making it. But it's actually a neutral ashy blonde. It's darker than a white, but it's got white in it. It's still got some beiges in it too. I actually really like this. It's good for my warmer skin tone that I have. I have tried the Wella T18. It used to be called White Lady. Now it's called Palest Ash Blonde. I left it on too long, and it turned my hair like this mucky, moldy, grayish green. Bleh. It was nasty. So it kind of depends on your hair. I know it has a cult following. It's apparently like the miracle dye, because people use it as a dye. Other people also use it as a toner. They'll mix it like they would a normal toner with, 1 part of the dye and 2 parts of the developer. That's what I did. And it lifted a little bit of the brassy tones out, but it really didn't give me it was just this awful color. I hated it. So I washed it out. You actually can use Head and Shoulders, the purple kind, the original formula, and you use that a couple times, and it washed out the toner entirely. I have some other tips and tricks for actually washing out semi-permanent colors and toners, but I'll talk to you about that in my next video. So then once you're actually at the desired color that you want a purple or a blue shampoo. That basically, I use the Clairol Shimmer Lights. I don't use the conditioner because it actually, it makes my hair feel gross and still dry, and it just doesn't work as well. So I just use the shampoo and a regular conditioner after. It's called Blonde and Silver, and this basically just keeps your hair toned. It's not an actual toner, but it's a toning shampoo, so it's like a toner, just not as strong. But the purple, it's actually I don't know if you can tell, but see the color on the nozzle, that dark purple, that is the color. It won't, if you leave it on too long, it will turn your hair kind of a lilac color. If you don't leave it on too long, it just tones it and keeps your hair a nice, bright, shiny color. Now that you're blonde, you're going to want to use blonde products, so like shampoos that help keep, like the purple shampoo. I would only use that a couple times a week. You can use it every day if you like. I only use it a couple days a week, but make sure you get other shampoos that are made specifically for blondes. They help tone down brassiness. They're made for everyday use. And then I use the Ion Daily Solutions like pomade wax, and it's this cool, it's like this tealish blue color with like purple pearly swirls throughout it, and it doesn't turn your hair any color, but it gives it a really cool like pearly shine. I love it. I actually just bought it last night, and it's really fantastic. It's got a nice, it's just kind of floral scented. It's very clean, very light smell. So that's what I use. And so yeah, those are the products I use. I'm going to do a second video of the exact process I go through, a couple tips and tricks for you that I've learned along the way. And I don't actually remember if I said this, but here's a disclaimer. I'm not actually a stylist. I am not a certified beautician, nor am I a chemist. All of these things that I have told you come from my own personal experience. They come from things that I've taught myself, and I have also learned from other stylists through just trial and error, everything. This is my personal experience, so do not take my word as the Bible. If you have any serious problems, if anything happens, or if you're just not entirely sure of the process, go to a stylist. Go to a salon that that really has reviews that say that they specialize in bleaching and coloring, and make sure you go to them. Any Paul Mitchell stylists are really good with that. They're they're really good with their coloring. So I would suggest going to one of them and just get some advice, possibly have them do it first and kind of talk you through the process. But I'm kind of a dive in first, ask questions later type, and so I never wanted to spend the hundreds of dollars going to a salon. So I did this all myself. And so these are just the tips and tricks and all that I have found along the way from my own experience. So that is my disclaimer. And if you guys have any questions, do not hesitate to ask. I'm going to be uploading lots more videos, advice videos like hair care, makeup tricks, like piercing tricks, and tattoo aftercare, all that stuff. So yeah, if you guys have any more questions, please do not hesitate to ask. I'm going to put a full list of all the products I mentioned today down below, right down here. So subscribe if you like. If not, that's totally cool. Thank you so much for watching, and my phone is ringing. And I hope you are successful in all your beauty adventures. Thanks.